皆さん、こんにちは。さて、スターフィールドが発売されたので誰も見ないかもしれませんが、続けましょう。まあ、プレイステーションには対応していないので、買わない人も多いかな。どっちかというと、自分的にはピクミン4が気になるね。機械持ってないけど。
We shouldn't be wasting medical supplies. They're the enemy.
Irrelevant. These men are under my care. If you don't like it, take it up with the chief.
Very funny. Speaking of, how is he? Any changes?
I've done everything I could. But the trauma was severe. Only time will tell.
Damn.
What? I was just... Oh, Slick! You're awake! Thank God! When your vertibird went down, we feared the worst. You got banged up pretty bad in the crash. You've been out of commission for 3 whole weeks. How you feeling?
How bad?
It was pretty bad. Broken bones, ruptured organs, and a real nasty blow to your head. We weren't sure you'd wake up.
I have this burning feeling inside my skull. It's like it's on fire.
Ah, yeah, after the crash, you were suffering from something cranial pressure. Cassandra had to operate on you. Try not to move around too much. It should help. Now, if you feel enough for it, I believe I owe you a delayed thank you. Thanks to you and Lupe's vertibird heroics, the HQ was spared nuclear annihilation. Well, mostly. There was a bit of radiation to deal with. But the gunners didn't have time to properly arm the bomb, so the fallout was minimal. Good job, Chief. We all owe you our lives. Oh, and before you ask, don't worry. Lupe's fine. No idea what that girl's made of, but she managed to come out of the wreck with barely a scratch.
You look tired.
I didn't want you waking up with no one else around. You know?
I'm glad I got here in time.
You're not the only one. Now, I know you've only just woken up, and I don't want to overwhelm you, but... Well, since your accident, things have changed out there. The Commonwealth is a mess, and you need to know what's been going on. I'll go gather the rest of the staff, let them know you're awake. So when you're ready, make your way to the meeting room and we can fill you in. And again, it's good to have you back. Things just weren't the same without you.
Where am I?
Oh, right, of course. You haven't seen this place since we fixed it up. Right now, we're under the HQ, in that new area we found. We needed a bigger infirmary, and the space was free.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. It's good to hear, especially from you.
Don't forget to grab your stuff. It's in the locker near your bed. See you in the meeting room.
New mission available.
"まず服を着るんだ。
I'm not making this up.
See?
There have
Here's the
been
chief
reports
now.
of
Jake told us you were up.
a
I'm glad to see it
Chinese
for myself.
submarine
How are
seen
you
off
feeling?
the coast,
Any
heading
pain?
out to sea.
Dizziness?
How long
Nausea?
it's been here,
Sensitivity
and what
to
it's
light,
been up to,
perhaps?
are anyone's guess. But I think we should all be thankful it's apparently on its way out. Like I said, hard to believe. But there you have it, folks, the latest, craziest news. from Diamond City Radio.
No,
Next
I'm fine.
year,
Thanks for asking,
Civilization
Doc.
by Danny
Well,
Kaye.
considering that I was the one who put your insides back from the outside, I don't buy the bravado. Ignore your injuries if you wish. Just keep in mind, your head trauma was severe. You still have quite the recovery ahead of you. That said, considering you are walking and talking, and I've yet to see any drool, I'm willing to clear you for light duties.
Well, I hope your noggin's not too scrambled, because we got a lot of info to throw at you. The Commonwealth. Well, it's not in the best shape right now.
How bad's the situation out there?
Not as bad as it would have been if you hadn't pulled off that stunt with the vertibird.
Shortly after you went down, I took out that last gunner ship. It was a carrier. It was where all those fighters and vertibirds were coming from.
Since then, no more gunners have tried coming in by sea. The outpost worked just as we hoped. It's a good thing we built it when we did.
After our little bomb scare, we took it as a sign we needed some better defenses at the HQ. So if you were to go onto the roof, you'd now find 3 big honking laser cannons. I call them the Bird Busters. Should stop anything nasty from flying too close again.
What happened after that?
Well, our luck didn't last long. You may have stopped the gunners from overrunning the Commonwealth and thwarted their bombing of the HQ,
But the gunners still had incoming ground troops. Not 2 days later, soldiers marched in south of Murkwater, traveling along those old railway lines.
it all happened so fast. We deployed security personnel to confront them, but the gunners had so many soldiers. We didn't stand a chance. Our only option was to retreat, secure the HQ, the areas around it, and try to create a blockade to slow down this ground invasion.
What happened?
It worked. For a time, we held the line. But the gunners had established a foothold and had a lot of reinforcements inbound. Since then, we've had multiple skirmishes. Some won, most lost. With every defeat, the gunners have punched holes in our blockade, pushing forward.
Every day the gunners capture more ground. Not as fast as they would have, invading by sea, but still. Settlements are falling, people are getting hurt.
I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, Slick. The gunners are back. And they've pretty much declared war on the entire Commonwealth. A war that, right now, the Commonwealth is in no position to win.
Any idea how many gunners we're talking about?
The number of actual gunners is less than you might expect. I think the bulk of their forces was aboard those ships you blew up. However, it seems they've been busy recruiting outside assistance. Our best estimates say they've at least a few hundred folks fighting for them. They're likely to hire a lot more before this is over.
A war? Really? Is it that bad?
There's been no formal declaration, but yeah, we're at war. And the gunners, they're wiping the floor with us. They've got greater numbers, better equipment, and a very effective new leader called Captain Lamont.
This new captain is different. Areas the gunners capture are being ransacked, then occupied, abandoned, or razed to the ground. Captured civilians executed on the spot, or simply made to leave.
It seems gunner control and dominance is no longer their goal. But what this woman hopes to get out of this war remains a mystery.
What other reasons do they have?
I don't know. Revenge seems a likely candidate. I mean, we've certainly done enough to royally piss them off.
No, something about that doesn't add up. I mean, we are without a doubt a nuisance to them, but I'm not so sure we're the reason they're doing all this.
Honestly, we're stumped. It's like this woman doesn't even care about the territory or settlements she captures.
What do we do now?
We fight back, and we win. Stupid answer, I know, but your question was kinda stupid too.
Teresa's right. Our only way out of this is to fight.
I'm curious, Jake, just what is it you think we've been doing up until now?
We've been fighting with everything we have. It just hasn't been enough. Despite everything we put together, we're no match for an invading army. Hell, even with the support of some of your friends, we're still struggling.
I hate to say it, but Jake's right. Sure, we have security personnel, but they're not soldiers. They can't handle this. They can't win a war.
There must be something we can do.
If soldiers are what we need, why don't we just start training our own? Form a military. I'm sure there's something Aiden could do, given his background.
That's a good suggestion. But with things the way they are, Aiden's already got his hands full.
Kid's right. I've got more than enough on my plate. Can't split my focus. And training an entire military, that's no simple task.
Any idea where I can find someone?
I think the Chief's got the right idea. Why don't we just recruit some other specialists to build and lead our military? Problem solved.
Yes. Yes, that could work. Besides ourselves and our allies, we do know there are other groups fighting back against the Gunners. Perhaps we could approach the leader of one of these groups? Ask if they'd consider joining us.
Now you're talking. And I got just the person in mind. His name's Salvador. An old acquaintance of mine. He's ex-military, knows how to fight, knows how to train soldiers. He'd be perfect for the job.
Wait, I know that name. Captain Algernon was trying to find Salvador? He wanted his help to stop Wes. He spoke very highly of him.
We can always use a new recruit.
Can't argue with that. The only problem is, I don't know where to find him right now. We haven't exactly kept in regular contact.
I'm all for us bringing on this Salvador guy. But first, it sounds like we need some information on his whereabouts.
Oh, Mr. Theron. I mean, when Captain Algernon was looking for Salvador, he mentioned sending some of his men to Mr. Ron's to buy information. I don't know if he found anything, but if he did, I bet Mr. Ron would be happy to share it with us.
That's a good idea, Lupe. Slick, do you feel up to paying the Ron a visit? See if he's got any info on this Salvador? The trip might do you some good, let you get some fresh air, stretch your legs a little.
Of course I'll help. Count me in.
I'll go too. No offense, Chief, but I think it's best someone keeps an eye on you, at least for the time being.
All right, just be careful. The roads aren't exactly safe right now.
Keep your wits about you. Despite our best efforts, Gunner squads are still slipping
New
past our
mission
blockades.
available.
Don't worry, we'll be fine. Come on, Chief, let's get going.
What's your plan for Sunshine Tidings? Do you even have a plan?
That boy is like a sponge for knowledge. Such a shame he has more than his fair share of parental trauma to work through before he can reach his potential.
You know, I'm really starting to think of this place as home.
ああ、キュリーちゃんがいなくなっている。
Eyes open, friend. Always.
Hey, we should avoid traveling too far south. Anything below the HQ? That's Gunner territory now.
Non-stop music and all the latest news. This is Sentimental.
If you're hungry, you can grab a quick bite of power noodles. Just talk to the robot.
Yes? Yeah?
Hey, Fancy Pants, good to see ya!
Hi.
Well. Look who's back. They say cats have 9 lives. You gotta be down to at least 6 by now. Glad to see you again, cool cat.
Thanks. You too.
And if it isn't Miss Fortunato.
Huh. Surprised you remember me.
The Ron never forgets a client. Although, if you're here to collect on that info, I'm afraid I've not yet found it.
No, I'm not here for that. Not today. We need information on something else. A while back, we think some gunners came asking you about a guy named Salvador. Maybe asking where they could find him?
What are you looking for?
I was looking to find someone. An old friend. Someone else that used to travel with me and Sal, actually. We all had a falling out, and I've not heard from him since. I wanted to try and make contact. Maybe try and bury the hatchet. But we're not here for that right now. So let's just focus on Salvador, okay?
What did you find?
Yeah, I remember. 2 gunner goons. Said they were representing some captain, and needed to find your Salvador. The same 2 guys who later gave me a beatdown. So I'd spill the beans on Jake. Anyway, seemed like those hoodlums forgot all about their info request. That, or they just had bigger fish to fry. But the Ron sure didn't forget. Oh no! I kept my ears peeled and my eyes open. And wouldn't you know it, you'll never guess who's made a return to the Commonwealth.
Salvador?
Oh. Okay, maybe you can guess.
Do you have any idea how I could find him?
If my sources are correct, Salvador was last spotted camping along the Charles River, near a makeshift crossing known as Cutler Bend. But if you're planning to go find this guy, I'd advise caution. Apparently he was not alone.
Thanks for the warning.
Thank you for using the Ron's Information Emporium, where, for a friend, information is always on the house.
All right, we got a location. Let's go find Salvador.
「ついでにサイドクエストを進めましょう。
Looking for a missing captain.
Remember, I don't search sense. Lives are just for humans.
We got small arms, long arms, ammunition. Spotters! Right here! Let's go! Latest hairstyle. From these upper things.
I'm here to pick up an order.
Just pull this lot from the free. Whatever you want, I ain't got it.
ついでにガンフォーハイヤーでキュリーちゃんを探しましょう。
New mission available.
「ちゃんと元いた居住地に戻ったようです。よかった。
Seems a lot brighter these days.
いつも高評価、そして、チャンネル登録ありがとうございます。とても励みになっております。いやー、モッドって本当にいいものですね。最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。